Hi guys, my name's Josh and today I want to continue teaching you how to release your music in 2022. So this is part 2 of a 2-part video series and part 1 will be linked up here. That was all on the planning and preparation of releasing your music and I highly recommend you go and watch that just to prep before the promotion of your release. And then this video is all about promoting your music from the pre-promotion to the post-promotion of your release with your release in the middle of those two. I've also created a very convenient downloadable PDF timeline to help walk you through the step-by-step process whilst you watch this video. That's available for free on my website via the links in the description. And I highly recommend you go and download that as it'll help you walk through the steps as I'm talking to you about the steps of how to release your music this year. So let's get into it. So when we left off in the last video, we were on step 11. So that means we are now on step 12, and this is to begin your marketing campaign. So this is 2 weeks before the actual release date of your music, and what you want to do is start your social media campaign and start your main marketing campaign. Be posted on social media and tell your audience that your music is going to be released in 2 weeks time. And then step 13 is to begin your EPK campaign. Now this can be up to 2 to 1 weeks before the release of your music, but I'd recommend you align it with the release of your marketing campaign. And what you want to be doing with your EPK is plugging it to magazines, newspapers and blogs and anywhere else that you want to plug your music to try and get some features to hype up the release of your music. Now what this also does is it kind of legitimizes you as a real musician because you're going to be featured in the press, which makes sure that your music fans actually take you seriously, and it kind of just gives you a bit of a level up in terms of your clout in the industry. Just remember to include on your press release and your EPK an embargo date, and that basically means to tell the press not to release your music before the date it is set to be released to the public. And then step 14, lastly in the phase of pre-promotion for your release, is you want to start running your Spotify PreSave campaign. Now this could be done with social media ads, but it could also just be done by posting online on your social media. And what you want to do is tell your fans to go and pre-save your next single. And what this will do is it'll allow your single to be placed into their playlist the day it's released. And that helps to just up the streams on the first day that your new single drops. And finally, we're on to step 15. This is the release date of your new music. It's a very exciting day, and what you want to do for this is have a launch event or a listening party. Now of course you can do one or the other or both, and it really depends on how close you are with your fan base. And basically if you want to put your arms further afield, you want to be doing a launch event at a venue and having loads of people turn up to listen to your new single exclusively on that release date and then release it on the midnight of the gig. Or if you're quite close with your fan base, you want to invite a few exclusive guests to a listening party, and that'll help your fans to feel a little bit more involved with you as a musician because they've got an exclusive invite. And this will just be a party where you can actually go and listen to your music together and everybody can witness it all at the same time. And then with step 16, there we go, you want to be doing a YouTube live stream or an online version of the party. So if you're doing a launch event, you want to hopefully, if you have the equipment, live stream that event for the people who couldn't turn up, and also alongside that just do a YouTube premiere anyway. So that means that YouTube will premiere your song when it gets released on the certain time and date of your release. And this is to make sure that 1, you've got a little bit more online content for your online fans, and 2, to make sure that if anybody couldn't turn up to the physical events, they still have a chance to catch the release of your music online digitally. And then for step 17, what you want to be doing is setting up your full-on social media ads. And social media ads can be run for relatively cheap, from say like £1 or $1 a day, all the way up to $30 to £30 a day or even more. And what they can do for you is actually act as a lead generation tool to convince people to go to your Spotify or go to your other streaming websites to go and stream your new single. And it can be as simple as, say, one ad with a picture of your song with the song clip in the background saying, hey, go and check out my new single. But also remember to put a hook in there as to why they should check out your new single. That's really important. I see a lot of bands just saying, hey, new single's out, go and check it out. Tell me why I should check it out. What's unique about it and what is unique about you as an artist. Or it could be as complex as multiple different ads targeting different audiences with different purposes. And it all really depends on your experience with social media advertising. Alternatively, if social media ads aren't really your thing, you could pay a PR company to set these up for you, as they'll probably specialise in this kind of thing. Just remember to use the data that you collected in phase 1 during your market research. So that was the demographics of your audience, such as their name, their age, their gender, and their location. Those are really important to include in your advertisements, because that will allow you to specifically target people instead of targeting everyone and the ads just go out to people who are completely uninterested in your music. It's a waste of money when you do that. And one of the main reasons why people think social media advertising doesn't work is because you haven't targeted the right people. And now for step 18, this is all about radio plugging and using your EPK to plug to different radio stations to see if they can put your song on the air and get some airplay and advertising for your new song. Again, you want to be using the information you collected in phase 1 with that database of contacts. You want to be collecting the emails of all these radio stations so that you can email them today with your EPK. Also be sure to ask them when it's going to be played live so that you can actually tell your audience when to tune in, and you can use it as a social post for a bit of clout surrounding the release. And then step 19, you want to be pitching your song to Spotify playlists. And again, you can use your EPK for this, but it's really important to actually use a bit of a personal message to these different playlist curators, because each playlist curator will work slightly differently. It's very similar to pitching your song and your music to journalists, but instead these guys are the guys that are going to put your songs into playlists. And playlists are very important because it's one of the best places that Spotify users find new music. And if you want people to find your song, your new music, you want to be getting on these playlists. It also helps to generate more streams on the actual day of your release if you are in playlists, if you've been pre-saved into playlists. But also remember that to get on official Spotify playlists, to use the official Spotify playlist pitching tools, which you can find on their website. And then for step 20, this is all about playing shows or doing virtual gigs. You want to be playing as many shows as possible surrounding the release date of your new song, and make sure people know that you're going to be playing your new music at these shows. And also, you can upsell your online presence when you're performing by asking people to go and check you out and follow you online. If touring and performing isn't quite for you, what you can do is actually do online virtual shows, which will allow you to create a bit of a live music environment, but on a budget. And you can use any of your social media for this. I'd also recommend checking out, say, Twitch. It's been very famous for live streaming lots of gaming content in recent years, but there have been musicians that have begun streaming their music on that platform too. And then for step 21, this is all about your merchandise. So alongside performing your music live or on a virtual show, you want to be releasing your merchandise so that people have something to buy at the shows, or they can have a link directly to your merchandise store. And what this helps you to do is just optimize making more money from your release by having merchandise related to your music or your individual brand. And then for step 22, you want to be following up your press release campaigns and your EPK campaign. So any magazines, newspapers, blogs, radio stations, or anywhere else you've plugged your music to for this release, you want to be following them up to make sure that they've actually replied to you. And if they haven't replied to you, just give them a little nudge to see if they'll still feature your music. Sometimes people in the press are very busy, they miss emails, it gets lost in an email trail, and they might just not have seen it. So give them a little nudge, say hello, have you seen this, and just try and get your music refeatured or featured on these platforms again. And then for step 23, you want to continue marketing your music for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Even after it's been released, you want to be marketing your music because there's still time to get people interested in your new release and up those streams. And you can use the marketing campaign plan that you made in phase 1 as a guide for this. And always try to think of new and innovative ways that you can market your music, such as behind the scenes content, or even a video breaking down the lyrics of your song, or even a video breaking down how you wrote the song in the first place. And make sure that you do behind the scenes content. And this is because people like to invest in the people behind the music as well as the music itself. It's a way to incentivize people to go and listen to your music if they're invested in you as a person. So behind the scenes content is very, very key and very popular in today's age. And that's everything that you need to do to promote your music. However, we're not finished yet. There's one last little phase, which is to do evaluating the success of the release. So for step 24, you want to be evaluating the success of the release to see if you've reached the goals you set yourself in your marketing plan. And don't worry if you haven't reached those goals fully, you can actually assess in this stage why that might be and implement new strategies in your next release. As well as this, using analytics is a great tool in being able to evaluate the success of a release. So getting the social media analytics and data and getting your streaming analytics and data, breaking it down, having a look at it in those Excel documents is going to be a really good way of seeing if you've reached your goals at the end of this campaign. And then once you've done all that, you can actually begin to repeat this process, and as such phase 3 will actually phase into phase 1 again to begin the new release process. However, before you do that, with step 25, it is very important to take a step back and relax and recharge. Releasing music takes a hell of a lot of effort, and it's been well known that this effort can impede on many musicians' mental health. So it's very important just to take a step back, even if it's for a couple of days or even up to a week, just to relax, put the music in the back of your mind and just enjoy the time that you've spent releasing that music. And the benefits of this are incremental. This means that when you return to release your next single, you can then do it with a fresh mind and a recharged brain. So that's everything you need to do to actually release music successfully in 2022. I hope that these 2 videos and the downloadable PDF guide have helped you to release music this year. And if it has, please leave a comment down below, as I'd love to know your release stories and get to know you guys a little bit better. If you did enjoy this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing and hit that notification bell to get a notification whenever I upload a new video. My name has been Josh and I offer management, marketing, press and PR and event services. If that's something you feel like you'd like to get involved with, you can visit my website via the links below. You can also send me an email and then follow me on social media with all of those links below as well. Until next time, I'll see you guys later and I hope you have a good one.